Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. I am Lord Forwind, here playing as Communist China. So we've actually made some good progress in some sense. We've actually wiped out Tibet, which is kind of amazing. We're also planning on invading Siam. I think I might also try and justify some war goals on Nepal and Bhutan at some point. Probably Nepal, because I can't actually get to Bhutan. Gets 9 factories if I manage to take it over. The war up north in Manchunko, I guess, is still raging on, and nobody is making any progress in any direction for any reason. Yeah, China is still throwing troops against the Japanese juggernaut and really not getting anywhere. They're slowly eroding it, but not much is going on. Belfast is still being held by the British in Ireland, but other than that, I'm a little unsure why they're not pushing out. I'm guessing the Spanish have a lot of troops there. The Americans seem to be losing some of the Pacific battle versus the Japanese. And the British Navy is pretty much gone at this point. Yeah, the Germans have a much stronger navy than the British do. Or at least it appears that way. So, that's what's going on in the world. Making sure to keep as many troops off the actual front lines as possible. No. You're the same deal. We're definitely the same deal, but you don't actually belong to an army, so. Spread out across our new borders, including most of Tibet. And one last thing we can aim for, which is, well, one last thing we should aim for right now, which is trying to demand Mongolia, which is going to be interesting. They actually have a fairly good amount of divisions, not a ton of factories though. At the same time, however, anyway, I can. There we go. Okay. Let's unassign these guys from this general. He doesn't really need them anyhow. Cancel that. I have a feeling we're going to be forced to invade Mongolia, so I'm moving troops up there in preparation for it. Hopefully it won't be a dumb decision, because they'll almost definitely jump in and join Japan. We're going to have to be a little bit wary of that. That will all of a sudden open up an entirely larger front up north. But if I do take that land, it'll pretty much all go directly to me, not to actual China, which will be nice. My troops arrived? Yes, they have. Can we advance? We, in fact, cannot advance. Yeah, we cannot attack from a neutral country. That sucks. Okay, well, let's pull this guy back. He doesn't really need to be under the command of Mao, does he? He can be relatively independent as well. I'll pull him back, put him on the fortified line. Okay. Should know if Mongolia will submit in a little while. Still boosting ideology in these guys. Probably don't really need to. They are non-aligned, but we're not making much progress on that front. Could boost these guys' ideology, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Oh, it's Germany. How do they think of all this communism? Still barely fascist. So that's slowly being overturned. The new world, North and South America, should pretty much all be converting at some point to Yeah, democracy. Slowly but surely, the fascism is being stamped out there. Same thing with communism. Didn't know Paraguay was communistic at any point, but it apparently was. Free France is actually making quite a bit of a comeback down here. I wonder why. Vichy France is still suffering from other problems. I don't know. Back and forth war. Vichy France itself is relatively built up, but not much is happening. I'm hoping if we open up a slightly larger front versus Japan, maybe we can push them back. Clearly, we're not going to get any help from the Allies. It's 1945, and yeah, Germany is far too entrenched for actual progress against them to happen. So, yeah. D-Day apparently either never happened or failed, so. Plus, at this point, Germany had to know that the Americans were coming, or D-Day was coming. In fact, look at this. They're trying to invade Britain. Okay. We might see a Germany that actually kills the UK, which would be a first for my games. Usually the UK is almost unkillable. The US is... I have no idea where the US main armies are. They're just kind of wandering all over the world. A little disappointing. They've got a mass amount of production. They're not doing much. Hey, is this our first troop in ages? It might be. Hey, we're actually... Wow. There must have been a huge stockpile of infantry arms in Tibet because we're not losing much at all now. Wow. Although it is slowly getting worse over time. That's crazy. Well, that's good news. We also got some iron and tungsten out of it, apparently. Yeah, a little bit of iron, a little bit of tungsten, fair amount of iron. Mongolia is lasting a while. We're about to get even better infantry equipment, which will be nice. Plus 5% soft attack on our generalized infantry would be nice. It'd be nice if we have motorized or mechanized infantry, but don't really even have the factories to support what we have. Tank development, we get 55% off of Mountaineers. Night vision will be boosted soon. Let's focus on mountain infantry, I think. Paratroopers could be kind of cool jumping behind Japanese lines, but I don't really know how to use paratroopers effectively, so not going to bother with that. $31 factories. Need 49. Shame we can't get closer ties with anybody who's, you know, not communist. Unlike China, who's been running around being friends with probably everybody under the sun. Look how much they still have research. Instruction battalions, etc., etc. This one is huge. 5% max entrenchment. They should have done that ages ago. I have no idea what they're doing. They're just kind of researching, like, random things. Or so it would seem. What's Manchunko up to? They don't have anything worth worrying about. Japanese, though, have lots of planes. Rather worrisome. But it looks like we're almost actually even here with fighters, which is kind of amazing. If you think about it. We almost have our first refinery, which will be amazing when we get it. Even a little bit of oil and rubber should make a difference. We get 2, so that will not solve all of our resource needs, but certainly will deal with 2/3 of the rubber need. Plus, if we actually do invade Mongolia, they do have chromium, which would help for planes and stuff. Wish I could invade Siam. Really wish I could. Nothing I can do there. Everybody wants to give me infantry equipment, though, which I will happily keep taking. Do we actually have any... We do have a little bit of motorized production now. We might actually be able to start a division of... What are these divisions? Although I will throw in a little bit more tanks. Motorized and infantry equipment are going to be the problem there, but slightly more modern military would be good news. The Brits are still standing. I'd hate to see what the plain air map mode looks like for this area. Looks like the UK still controls the area. That controls a good portion of the area, it looks like. The RAF is keeping them alive, I guess. Oof, Germany's blowing through their manpower building divisions, though. Almost 200 of them. Crazy. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they can match the RAF in terms of combat strength yet. Unfortunately for them, not for us. The longer Germany's distracted in that war, probably the better in the long run. Plus, we're supporting the British in terms of... Always nice to see the British somehow manage a counterattack. Another unassigned division, wow. Progress is being made. The more tanks we get, the better our forces are for sure. I don't think Chiang Kai-shek has anything other than infantry. Doesn't look like it. I just gotta keep a reserve of some manpower is the problem. I do need some. Just a little bit more. I really should almost prioritize equipment upgrades rather than training troops right now. We have a lot of divisions. Obviously, we don't have as much as actual China, but we're about 100 less than they are, but we're also, 16 million less reserve troops at least. Really wish this game had a better scroll wheel. They're just throwing their guys over and over and over at the Japanese. Doesn't get you anywhere. No. At least on the flip side, when the Japanese attack us, we are very well entrenched. To the point that I think we probably got almost as much entrenchment as the Japanese in some ways. They have 100 more than we do. Fair enough. And the Mongolian question will be resolved in 4 days. I'm relatively curious to see if Mongolia will submit to another communist nation or not. We do heavily outnumber them, but then again, Tibet refused as well. 1 day, 4 hours. And the question is, Mongolia? So I did not get control of Mongolia? I probably don't. I probably just got a claim on it, right? Oh. That's awkward. Take Mongolia from Mongolia. Okay. Question is, do we want to go for Imperial Legacy or Anti-Imperialism? We've kind of already locked up this side. I think Imperial Legacy would be better. I have a non-aggression pact with them. I cannot revoke the non-aggression pact till September. So apparently I was a bit stupid about that. Is Siam actually training troops now? A little bit. Boy, they've got a lot of troops in reserve. What's going on up here? Has Spain wasted enough of their troops yet? Not particularly. Vichy France up to. They don't have a lot of reserve, but neither does Free France. Let's actually look at how that war is going. Current wars. There really should only be, what, 2-3 wars in the game? German-Malaysian war, I believe. Vichy France has lost a lot. Germany's lost 4 million. What are we looking at here? UK's lost 3 million, so they're going pretty much even with the Germans there. Italy's lost a lot of men. So's the British Raj. The US has lost 2 million fighting Japan. Oh, sorry, 1 million fighting Japan and almost 600,000 fighting Germany. No. Curious to see. Should just merge. I thought it would have merged these two wars together. But one of my guys is ill. Japanese-Chinese War 1 versus 2. Issues with the Allies are in one and they're not in the other. I still have no idea how Japan is holding out against us. We outnumber them so heavily. You know what? Let's shift. These guys up to the border as well. Might as well, if we're gonna take on Mongolia, hit them with overwhelming force, right? Although knowing how the game functions, despite overwhelming force, it'll be pretty incompetently overwhelmed forced, but let's see. Fascism is so close not to being Germany's single most popular ideology. These guys are still unaligned. These guys are still unaligned as well. I have no idea what. That was interesting. Surely we've got a lot of troops on their border now. Can I break the non-aggression pact? It's just the first 12 months, I think. That's still a sticking point. If we actually built a refinery, we have. So let's go for rubber, I think. Modify it by 1 should balance out all our rubber needs. What do we actually? We're using the rubber on the fighters, interestingly. Huh. Yep. Since we have the rubber, we don't actually have such a huge production penalty, so. Instead, let's get some motorized divisions going. Trying to figure out why none of my fortified units want to actually protect this border. They're all about protecting like this one province. Why that one province? What about all of these provinces? It's so weird. So weird. Our infantry equipment production is still doing fine. Actually, we have a surplus here. More infiltration. I have no idea how to get political support points though, and it's bugging me. I really don't know what Italy's been up to in this war so far. They're relatively quiet in the scheme of things. There they are. They're finally pushing their way up the front there. Mountain infantry? Yeah, let's do mountain infantry too, and then train some. Worth more to me than more infantry at this point. Training 9 of our allowed 128 special forces divisions. Okay, we gotta fix this up some. Mountaineers should have a really large combat width. At least 20 or so just to hold the line. There we go. Highest priority for equipment use, for sure. We have 11 divisions of that. That'll be good. Gonna need a new general, though. He's, of course, really incompetent, but that vaguely matters. So that will be it for this episode. Next time, hopefully, we'll be able to invade Mongolia and also get some mountaineer divisions into the field, which should actually help with a lot of the, well, at least the defense for now. So thank you guys all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you all next time. Bye for now.